Husband's lawyer says once I sign the divorce paperwork I no longer gain equity on our shared home. Hello, I am based in Oklahoma and going through a divorce. My husband and I own a home together. We are going through this divorce with one lawyer that he has hired. I understand that this is not in my best interest, but it is the option I have chosen. We're going 50-50 on everything and have a very good friendship. The area I am confused about is the equity of our home. We are not selling. He is staying in the family home. I cannot afford the mortgage on my own and I am looking for a place to rent. We bought the home in 2020. The current plan is to keep the home, and when it eventually sells I will get 50 of the equity gained during 2020-2023. His lawyer has said that my rights to the property value will end once I sign the divorce papers. I am very confused by this and feel very naive. I will still have my name on the home and will be in a situation where I'm paying rent on a different home but gaining no equity on the home I have my name on. This seems unfair and I am very out of my depth. I will not be in a position where I can buy another home either because my only equity, about 80k, is tied up in the home. He did mention that I could force a sale after 3 years. My reason for not forcing a sale right now is because I want continuity for my children and the market is not great right now. Get your own lawyer. This lawyer is your husband's lawyer and not yours. He will not have your best interests in mind. He needs to refinance that house out of your name. Otherwise, if he doesn't pay the mortgage, your credit will be taking a hit. He also needs to pay you out for your equity from 2020-2023 in the divorce process, not at some unspecified future time. You're being taken for a ride. Never take legal advice from someone who does not have your best interest at heart. In this case, your husband's lawyer. Oklahoma is 50-50 equity. His money is your money is his money, etc. You can hire a lawyer and he will have to give you access to marital assets to pay for it. Your attorney can work this through the courts. His attorney is working on your ignorance of the laws to your husband's benefit. Hire an attorney and have your attorney handle this to the end. Fuck that. Get a lawyer and force the sale of the house now. Or he can buy you out of your 50. If you are going to be locked into 50 of value today, he needs to pay you 50 today. Do not do that. Get your own attorney to represent you. I am going through a similar divorce. Our house is our biggest asset. I left the home as well because I knew that I could not afford it. My number one priority was to get my ex to refinance the house and take me off of the mortgage and deed. I would not even consider filing for divorce before the house is resolved. My ex had a new girlfriend less than 6 weeks after I moved out. He was letting this person stay for extended visits and even leaving her unsupervised in the home. Yeah, no, don't be too nice, it will backfire. You really need your own attorney. Do not trust your ex's attorney. Do not sign anything until you get your own lawyer. It sounds like your husband and his lawyer are trying to get you to sign papers getting you give up your rights without giving you anything of equal value in exchange. Even if you are still friends with your soon-to-be ex, you still need your own advocate to ensure you are getting fairly treated and that there are no oversights in the paperwork that might hurt you. Get your own lawyer. The option I have chosen is a terrible idea and beyond stupid. You are a fool if you don't get your own lawyer. By law, the lawyer you have represents your husband and is duty-bound to get your husband the best deal. That means it's his job to screw you over. You are making a major mistake. You need your own lawyer. Do not take legal advice from your ex-husband's lawyer. You are getting screwed. Your own lawyer would likely advise you to force your husband to refinance now to pay out your share. Your husband presumably does not want to do that because of current interest rates. So instead he is getting an apparently interest-free loan from you. If your money remains tied up in the house, you should benefit from continued appreciation. My parents did this and my mom got totally screwed. My dad lost his job and couldn't refinance, so she didn't get paid out for the equity he owed her for something crazy like 20 years. In the meantime, she rented an apartment and didn't have the cash from the house and also didn't have the ability to buy a new house. Don't do this. Whoever hired the attorney has an attorney. Whoever didn't, doesn't. You may as well walk away from all your assets. Husband is going to take you to the cleaners. Without an attorney you won't be able to stop him. Get, clapping, your, clapping, own, clapping, lawyer. He's trying to rob you blind. Get your own lawyer. You must have your own lawyer. If your husband can afford a lawyer, you can afford a lawyer. If you use your husband's lawyer for everything, you will get screwed. It is his duty to get the best deal for his client, your husband. It would actually be unethical for him to not do that, and he would be professionally remiss to do otherwise. So this is similar to when I got divorced. I kept the home and my ex moved out and rented a home. What should happen is he refinances the home into his name, and pays you your half of the equity now. Then you sign away your rights to the house. That way you have your money, and it's his home all alone. When I got divorced I did a cash-out refinance, gave my ex his portion of the equity, and he signed a quitclaim deed, so the house then belonged to just me. 1. You need a lawyer. 2. You should not have to wait for a sale to get your equity. Your lawyer can force a second trust deed or a sale of the property. 3. You need a lawyer. What are you listening to your husband's lawyer? Listen to your own lawyer. You need a goddamned lawyer. Immediately. A lawyer serving both you and your husband in a divorce is behaving very unethically and probably illegally, and should get sanctioned. You are in a legal situation without your own representation. Big mistake. Big mistake. The best way to handle this is to sell now and split the proceeds, or have an appraisal done and he can buy you out by refinancing in his name only. If he can't afford to refinance, then the house needs to be sold. Remaining on the mortgage leaves you financially responsible for the home that you don't live in. What happens if he stops paying the mortgage or just pays it late and ruins your credit by doing so? What happens if he lets it go to foreclosure and you're both sued? It can get really messy really fast. 1. Whose name is on the deed? 2. Whose name is on the mortgage? 3. Were you married when you purchased the home? 4. Who pays the mortgage and who paid the down payment? 5. What is the value of the home and how much equity do you have in it? Finally, how come your husband can afford a lawyer and you cannot? Do you see how this does not paint the picture of cooperation and good terms you describe? You and your husband could both choose to forego lawyers and work things out yourselves. But he has chosen to hire a lawyer and be deceptive about the law, so you will sign a deal extremely in his favor. Let that speak for itself. I would refuse to sign it if they don't change it to say that you both continue to gain equity due to the value of the property increasing over and above his principal payments equally. Otherwise it's best to force sake of the house with the divorce. Property values could increase and you would miss out on investing the money in other places while it's sitting there. Do not rely on your adversary's lawyer for your own legal advice. You're not their client, and they are seeking to get the best outcome for their actual client. No, no, no. If he wants to keep the house, get an appraisal and have him pay out your equity. You need money now, who knows about the future? Rule number 1: don't share counsel with your opponent. In divorce it is best to cut financial ties and not have a pending house sale hanging over you both for years. You have a portion of the equity. I'd negotiate for a percentage of the gains when it sells with the proportion of equity in the home. Get a lawyer. There's a reason why he's paying for the lawyer. Where's your is obviously full of it. Force the sell of the home or you will be dealing with him forever. He won't sell it, no reason to. You are getting excellent advice here. Divorce is often expensive for both parties. But if you do not pay these expenses now, they can soon become life-altering expenses. Just to be clear, that is your husband's lawyer, not your lawyer. You need a lawyer.